Welcome, everybody back to what I will say. I guess it's not really a brand new episode of the Transcession Plan. However, I am happy to be back. I absolutely am. I know y'all mad at me. Hold on, wait a minute. I need to do my introduction. What's up, everybody? My name is Mari, and it's a pleasure to be here with you all on this Sunday morning, evening. Well, Sunday morning, afternoon, and/or evening, depending on obviously where you are in the world. And as I reel myself back in, I know y'all mad at me. A justifiable anger, um, you know, to a basically unannounced hiatus. It wasn't a planned thing. Just to give you all a heads up, I would have mentioned a while back that I would be taking a hiatus if I felt like that would have been the case. But the way that life has been lately, I have been unable to record any episodes as of late. So this episode really is to one, share my sincere apologies for not being here. Two, basically talk about what's been happening so that y'all can kind of get an idea of why I've been kind of MIA over the last couple of months. And then lastly, kind of what I have planned for this podcast. This is not to say that the podcast is over in any way, shape, or form at all. It's just a matter of kind of like, how do I want this format to be as I progress forward with moving further, I should say, with this podcast. Moving on sounds like I said I'm getting rid of it, and that is not the case at all. So, as I mentioned, I've been gone. As you can see, I got my episode list up here, and it appears that the last time I released an episode was May 11th. As I'm recording this podcast right now, it is July 26th. and I'm one, ashamed of myself for going this long without an episode. But then also two, as you all know, I'm not even very big on the podcast social media platforms either. So I understand why it may seem as though it kind of fell off the face of the earth and never returned since then. Obviously, if you follow my personal page, I'm still, I won't say like super active, but like I said, I'm obviously here alive and well. Life at the time of when the last episode was aired, since it was like May 11th, I was probably finishing up my last semester, or my last semester, my last class of the semester at school, while also planning for my birthday, which was the 29th of May. Technically, I didn't really do anything per se. I was out and about, but I didn't have any like vacation planned or anything crazy like that. So I wasn't out, kind of traveling the world and being great. However, though, following my birthday, I actually had to fly out to DC for DC Pride, or World Pride, technically. And that entire week was full of nonstop walking, nonstop partying, nonstop work. And it was a lot. It was a lot for the 5 to 7 days I was in DC. Following that, I came back home to Atlanta, still in school. Like I said, wrapping up my last little bit of it. And I had got an emergency call to fly out to LA to also do some panel discussions and things of that nature. So I also had to fly out basically like a couple of days after we got back from DC to LA. Stayed in LA for about 4 to 5 days. And as we were out in LA, I saw some family who stays out in LA. So I was out, like I said, kind of not only doing work, but also, like I said, spending time with some family. And as I returned back to Atlanta again, flew back out to do some more work. Alongside that, like I said, starting a new semester in school, which got extremely out of hand, and I was playing a game of catch up because I was falling a little bit behind. So, as you can hear, as we kind of navigate between, like I said, the second week of May to today's current time of late July, it has been absolutely insane with just nonstop work, nonstop school, and it's really been, I would say, kind of like mentally draining, physically draining on my body to the point where I've just been trying to take as much time as possible to recover, get my sanity back, and I finally feel confident enough in both of those categories. Even though currently right now I went to the gym a couple of days ago and my body's sore, but the physical part of it is I feel good about myself. Also got sick not too long ago too. Got to throw that in there. So it's been a lot, y'all. It's been a lot, and I still haven't technically taken the vacation. I just been, like I said, just traveling for work, doing all of the things. Like I said, finally getting myself settled back into Atlanta, into my home, and honestly, actually preparing to leave possibly again in the next couple of weeks. So it's been a lot. And like I said, I don't want you all to think that this podcast has not been at the forefront of my mind. Obviously, while I'm out doing work, I have to talk about this podcast. While I'm out with acquaintances or, like I said, legit clients of mine, this podcast is always being talked about. So it has not been something that has been a second thought, a third thought, or a fourth thought. It's been a part of the work that I do every single day. It's just a matter of fact that I have not been here to record more episodes. So that's what's been going on with my life. As I mentioned, like I said, and aside from this, I'm still working a legit 9 to 5. So just think about all the things that has been kind of piled up on top of me, like as I just mentioned, over the last couple of months, 2 weeks, basically. Well, weeks to just months. Period. Like I said, it's been literally 2 months of me not being here. Um, so it's been a lot, y'all. And like I said, it's really just me to come back here, let you all know that I have been in the process, like I said, of starting up on the new season. I have purchased a plethora of new books, have gotten access to a lot of historical archives while I was out in LA, which was a very, very amazing experience. Shout out to USC's One Archives for allowing me to come in and do a little bit of some research. Very, very friendly staff, amazing establishment too as well. Highly recommend it if you are in California, if you ever have to travel down to LA to go check it out. You do have to have an appointment. So I highly recommend doing that first before you just walk in. You just can't walk in. But amazing establishment. So as I was out there, as I purchasing new books and taking the opportunity to read and things like that, I have highlighted a few topics that I will be highlighting on this podcast within the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned, obviously, for brand new content. That's really the second half of this podcast, is really just talking to you all about what I have planned. Like I said, in the background of me not being here, I still have taken the initiative to find topics, to start the research process and get it all together so that when I do come back and I have to write up the scripts and do all the things, all I have to do is just hit play, record, and then publish it out to you all. So that's the pro. It really isn't no con. The con might be that I have a vacation actually planned too. Well, one is technically a vacation. The second one is actually me graduating from my master's program at Arizona State. So that will be in December. So the first week of September will be more likely a non-episode day. The second-ish week of December will be also more likely a non-episode day because I'll be graduating, trying to get all the things together. Aside from those two dates that I can know of, and aside from me probably saying something as we prep for the new season, I'll take a 1 week break type of thing. You should be getting brand new episodes of the Trans Lesson Plan moving forward as we speak on July 26th of 2025. Okay. So it's like I said, it's just been nonstop grinding, y'all. Um, I had, like I said, just trying to take as much time as I can to get my sanity back from all the things happening. And because of that, as I mentioned, this, like I said, this podcast has never been on the back burner. It's just been something that I've unfortunately have to put to the side as I've been getting everything in order. So, like I said, you'll be getting brand new episodes from me. I'm sure that you all are happy to hear my voice. Um, I have been getting mad praise when I'm not. Um, I won't say working, but when I'm usually out and about, people will tell me that they admire the podcast and that they thank me for putting this podcast out, which is very refreshing, I should say, to say the least. Um, and like I said, just lets me know that I can't just not let y'all not have anything over the last couple of, at least for the rest of the year for sure. But like I said, just realizing that I've been having to do a lot of things and I haven't been able to put the work in to get you all something new at the very least. And like I said, with me not really having a big social media backing to give y'all at least a little bit of something that's going on out here, which like I said is still in the process of getting put together. Um, we'll be making improvements as the time progressed. Um, so with that as I wrap, because I don't want to take up too much of you all's Sunday. Um, what I want to say is I just thank every single one of my loyal listeners for sticking by me through this small, like I said, unannounced hiatus. Um, my goal, like I said, is obviously to not only just put out brand new episodes, but also to as well to give you all some type of joy currently right now as we're going through a plethora of different things. Um, give us some type of hope, a little bit of joy to one day out of our week, if possible, with the stories that I do tell. What I'm trying to do currently, also as well, which is still TBD, is give more of like a interpersonal experience of what I do and maybe having a really good friend of mine come in to help with that too as well, so that it's not just about the educational side of this, but also a little bit more of, like I said, kind of like my personal life and what that looks like too as well. So still trying to map that out, get more research on that, and kind of figure out what people are looking for before I kind of create that project and announce it out. But that is a possibility, obviously, too, for the future, and what you all could possibly see. Um, but with that, like I said, just thank you all so much. I love you all very deeply. Like I said, we're gonna get this shit back up and running. Yeah. And I'm excited to have a brand new episode for you all within the next couple of days. So have a great Sunday. Enjoy yourself. Be safe. Have fun. And like I said, stay tuned for that alert. And if you haven't already, make sure that you're subscribing on whatever not social media streaming platform you're currently on, whether that's Apple, Spotify, and whatever else. I'm sure I got this thing expanded to. I don't have the whole list up right now, but make sure that you subscribe so that you can get the notifications when the brand new episode does drop. And like I said, I will see you all in the next couple of days. Peace, love you, and I'll see you next time.